The differences between Canada's response about the World Health Organization and that of the United States couldn't be more stark. There is no question the WHO failed in its initial handling of the coronavirus. And in saying that, I mean it failed the world by spending the bulk of January claiming there was no human-to-human contact of virus contagion. They kept it up throughout the month, in the face of this becoming a global pandemic. At the end of January, the US president shut down all incoming flights from China. In fact, they repeated over and over China's claims, and they kept that up for weeks. It wasn't until January 30th the WHO declared a public health emergency. It wasn't until March 11th that the WHO finally declared a global pandemic after it had killed more than 4,000 people and infected more than 100,000. On May 18th, President Trump sent a letter to Dr. Tedros, who heads the WHO, essentially telling him the organization had 30 days to commit to major substantive improvement or he would freeze all funding from the US to the WHO. That's a substantial amount of money, estimated at $450 million annually. China, in contrast, contributes less than 10% of that amount. Yet, the WHO has essentially been carrying China's water throughout this pandemic. In Canada, on the other hand, Justin Trudeau waited for a further 5 days after the WHO declared the pandemic to take any action. In point of fact, Canada's public health officer, Dr. Theresa Tam, kept assuring Canadians there was nothing to fear. She was essentially just repeating WHO talking points. On Monday, testifying before the Standing Committee on Health in Parliament, she admitted that Canada could have moved more quickly. Could have? She was appointed to the position as Canada's Chief Health Officer on June 26, 2017. Yet she is still profiled on the website of the WHO as part of the Independent Oversight and Advisory Committee. No wonder she was just parroting what the WHO was spouting. Earlier this week, on the same day as President Trump fired off his letter to the WHO, Canada's International Development Minister, Karina Gould, appeared on CBC's Power and Politics. She was asked if the WHO should be more skeptical of China. Gould replied, quote, "I'm not sure that that's the place for the WHO, because the WHO is a product of its member states, and I think that each member state can push for openness and transparency," unquote. She also said she believes the WHO has provided the most accurate and up-to-date information it had access to. Really? Donald Trump has taken the world lead to try and hold the WHO accountable, and the position of Canada's government seems, well, they did the best they could. Well, they did anything but. They have proven they are just another ineffectual branch of the United Nations, and in doing China's bidding, they have failed the world. For True North, I'm Leo Knight.